and tell us about your project.
Hello, my name is Brian Sayende, and I am working with Dr. Evelyn Hubble, doctorate in astronomy, with different projects and learning about our universe and how it operates.
What were you guys trying to do or find?
Our goal in the project is that we were trying to find out many different things about the universe. The first thing they were trying to find out about the universe is that whether there are different galaxies within our universe besides our own, the Milky Way galaxy. Another thing we're trying to find out about our universe is that to figure out if it was constantly expanding or not. Another final thing we're trying to figure out was the theory of redshift. And redshift, if I can explain, is the theory of when the wavelength of a certain galaxy increases. And we're trying to see if the increase in redshift is also correlated to the increasing distance of the galaxy.
Where did the project or experiment occur?
So the majority of our experiments occurred at Mount Wilson Observatory near Pasadena, California. If you don't know where that is, it's about northeast of LA. The facility of the observatory was founded by Gregory Ailey Hale. So fun fact about this facility is that this is the location of the Hooker telescope. A telescope that's about 100 inches and was used for Dr. Hubble to make a lot of his discoveries.
What other significant events were happening around the world at that time?
So two big significant events that were happening during that time, I guess you could say, were World War I and World War II. These wars were between the Allied and Axis powers. The Allied powers being the USA, China, France, Germany, Britain, and the Allied and Axis powers being Germany, Japan, and Italy. Dr. Hubble himself was actually in World War I, where he joined the military as an infantry and was doing a tour in France. He came back actually as a lieutenant colonel. He also did his part in World War II, but he didn't go and fight in World War II. What he did actually was he went as a chief researcher in the Objective Proving Ground in Maryland, where he worked as in the Internal Ballistics Department, where he did research for exterior ballistics. And he actually, for his great efforts in doing that research, received a Legion of Merit Award.
Who else was involved in the project?
So we talked previously about George Hale, with him hiring him, but a big help of Dr. Hubble was Milton Holmson. He was his assistant. Although he didn't have a high school diploma, he was made a staff member by Hale because of his great technical skills and a unique knowledge. He was a great asset to Hubble, actually, in finding out about the theory of redshift and the distance between galaxies that we know today. This is known today, actually, as Hubble's law.
What was your role in the project?
I guess one of my two big roles in the project was to actually find out the spectra of certain galaxies and knowing the relationship between redshift, velocity, and distances of galaxies. One of the first things I had to do was find the spectra of different galaxies, and by using the spectral lines in reference to other things, I could find out the velocity of those galaxies. Another task I had to do was plot the distances of the galaxies with the velocity of the galaxies, and with both of these numbers put together on a plot, we were able to make a slope with that graph, and in that graph with the slope, we were able to make a constant. This constant was known as Hubble's constant, and this constant is used a lot today in different equations with figuring out the difference between the relationship between velocity and distance of different galaxies. This equation is V equals h subscript O times d, where v is the velocity and d is the distance.
What impact did your project have on the physics community?
I guess a big impact that our projects had in the physics community was to figure out how fast galaxies were by using Hubble's constant. These impacts also helped with creating a classification system for galaxies and to be grouped in different categories. This classification technique that we created we called it Hubble sequence.
Did you win any awards for your discoveries, specifically a Nobel Prize?
So Dr. Hubble did win a lot of awards for his discoveries. He won the Franklin Award in physics, and he also won the Bruce Medal. Another award he won was the gold medal from the Royal Astronomical Society. He even had a telescope named after him, the NASA telescope that was built. It was called the Hubble Space Telescope. It was launched in 1990. However, he did not win the Nobel Peace Prize, mostly because there was no category in astronomy at the time. But later, there was a category added to astronomy, but he was dead by the time they added it, so they couldn't give it to him.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.